Yes.
For the discounts, is the Apple 0.1 saying they get 1 cent off, or is it saying they get 10% off?
It's 1 cent off,
1
or
cent.
like 10 cents in this case.
Wait.
Because it's 0.10. Because this would be 1 cent.
Oh, it's $1.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 10. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how much it's off. Yeah.
But it's 10 cents. Not 3 cents.
Yeah, it's 10 cents.
Cool. And are the prices are also in dollars?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, does anyone have any ideas on how to start? Doesn't have to be correct or anything, just what you're thinking. Yeah.
You can add all the numbers in the item list and then subtract the numbers in the discounts list.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So let's define a variable. So let's say our total is equal to, oh, does it say? Okay, first we need to write a function. So anyone remember the syntax for a function?
DEF, and then we can do whatever we want.
So
Just
carp, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
And we write like X. Right? Doesn't matter what comes out of it.
So in this case, the function is going to take in our inputs,
How many
and
inputs?
we have these inputs. These are inputs.
X, Y, and Z.
That's not too descriptive though. We should make it more descriptive.
Let's make it descriptive, right? What do we do here? Items, prices, fees.
Yeah. Items, prices, then. Yeah. Okay, so then we want to make a total variable, and then we're going to take the sum of this list. So what function takes the sum of a list?
Sum.
Yeah. Prices. Okay. Now we want to subtract the discounts. How are we going to get the discounts? But how do we get the values? They're in the dictionary. Items. Index. Yeah, we can index into items is a good idea too. I think it would be a little bit hard to think about it visually because it's there in tuples and then it's each item too. Index is a good idea. So we would use the .get function. And since we already know what the discounts are, it's not super difficult. So we can do what's our dictionary? Deals .get. Deals.get, and then we know it's Apple. So we'll put Apple in here. And then once again subtracting the deal from bananas. Okay. So once again, the .get function will take the value that's at the key that we pass in. So since we passed an Apple here, it checks for the value and it's 0.1. So this turns into 0.1 here. And then same thing here. It checks the dictionary for the key banana and then grabs that value and replaces this whole thing. And finally, we'll return total. Notice that we didn't even use items in the function. Is there a case where we would need to use items?
For the receiving print or see out? If there's multiple of one item.
If you don't buy something. Yeah.
If you want to know how much you got off which particular item.
Yeah. So all of these are great ideas. But in general, like this is what we wrote right here is very specific to our input. In general, when you write functions, they will not be this specific. They'll be like, okay, you have this arbitrary list of items, and then you have an arbitrary list of prices, and then you'll have an arbitrary list of discounts. Find the total cost. And when that's the case, you would actually need to know what the items are. And then because you don't know what the discounts are, and you don't know what is being discounted, you don't even know what the items are. So here we're able to just index into things and be able to get those values. But in general, when you're writing functions, you never really know what's being inputted in. You just have to write programs based on the assumptions that the problem gives you. So let's try running this. If you get this output, it's fine. It's from a later problem. So we'll put in our input. So our items is cart items. Then our prices, item prices. And our deals is discounts. Oh no. What did I do wrong, guys?
Is our answers supposed to be 442 instead?
Yeah.
Or we're getting 545?
Yeah. Oh, I think in this case, this is supposed to be, oh shoot, maybe it's not supposed to be. Yeah, let's try that. Sorry, I think earlier I said these are supposed to be numbers. I think so. Let's try. That's very true. Banana is the second one. All right. Let's try this now. Oh, really? Wow. Again? Any ideas?
something all the prices together, but then
You're right. You're right. So how should we do this instead? There are a lot of different ways to do this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
also this is assuming that the item prices are listed in the same order that the actual items are listed. I don't know if they're sure or not.
So you can't assume that in most cases.
Because like we don't actually know what
Mm.
any of these items are and which one is getting discounted, right?
Yeah.
Does the computer know which of the items have what price?
Nope.
So how are you even supposed to do this at all?
So
You don't, if neither you or the computer knows which items, you don't know which. Like you know which items are supposed to get discounted, but you don't know which items to discount with that discount.
But you can generally say that, so are you saying like, we don't know if cart items and item prices are in the same order?
Yes.
Generally, we can say that, so, there's really no other way of writing questions like these, they have to be in the right order. So cart items and item prices are in the same order, so apple is 120, banana is 90 cents, orange is $1.
yeah.
Milk is $2.
So we're already assuming.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is an assumption that you
Yes.
can make unless told otherwise. I can't imagine a time when we would
No.
discern things for you in a way that you couldn't retrieve information.
I thought you were talking about discounts. But yes, cart items and item prices are in the order, are like in the same order. So what you suggested about a loop is a great idea. So how can we write this for loop? Mm-hmm.
The index the same. Maybe one of the and then I'm going to other and then maybe like do a check in our items and then that's true at the bottom do some other function to find discount price.
Yeah, great idea. So let's just loop over items. So for I in range item length, really?
Yeah, because I just put it in my calculator. Yeah, I'll put it.
Take it up with Jonah.
I don't know how to
Okay.
do it.
Oh, check on the drive. I deleted everything though. Okay, so we'll go through the indices for items, and then we'll find the item in cart items. Yeah, we'll find the item in items, see if it's in discounts. If it is, we're going to multiply the price by the discount and then add it to some total, which I should define here. Yes.
Just the colon in between apple and the 10% sweet in the discounts and like what is the actual colon actually separate them?
So this is a dictionary. So the in front of the colon, it's the key, and then after it is the value.
Does each one always associate with one value? Or can it
Well, you can have a list of values, for example. Yes. But if you, like, it can't be like this, and then like there's another apple. It has to be the same apple.
otherwise it would also or it would try and call one and then it would skip the other, or just try and call?
I think it picks the earliest one. That, or if you ever try to add another key with Apple, it'll update the current apple. It won't add another apple to it. Okay, so first we want to check if that item is in our discounts. So there is a kind of like an operator in Python that helps you do this. So what we do is if items at I, so at our current index in, and then our dictionary, so deals. So this right here checks if the item at our current index is in our dictionary. And then if this is true, we want to multiply the discount by the price listed in prices. So yeah.
So when you're naming the deals, or you're saying in deals, which is the part that's you're defining, because that's the third part of the function that's actually putting an input. Whereas it, and you didn't want to say like the name of the function because that would pull it from outside and then it can actually just getting it in the three things for the calling the function, right?
Yes. Okay. And this is also because we're writing it as a general function for any inputs. So we want to get the price, the current price. So we'll do prices at I because they should be at the same position. And then we're going to multiply by the discount. So using our function right here, we're going to call the dictionary.get and then our key value. So our dictionary is deals.get, and then our key is items.I. Okay, so right here, we're indexing at I into prices. So it's the price at that specific item. Then we're multiplying by the discount. Then we'll add this to total. And then lastly, if this is not true, we just add the price at the index. Prices. If any of these steps are confusing to you guys, make sure you write a comment above the line that you're like, what? I have no idea what's going on here, but Megan said this is what's happening. So you should write that down. Because when you come back to look at this for homework or something, if you don't know what's going on, it's very difficult from there. So I can explain again. So we initialize a variable as our total cost. Then we make a loop over the length of the items. Then we check if the item at that index is in our deals dictionary to see if there's a discount. And if that's true, we find the actual price, which is the price at that index, multiplied by the discount. And then we add that to the total price. And if it's not in deals, then we add the price at that index without any deals. So we can try and, yes? Yes. Okay, so let's run this. Oh, what did I forget, guys?
Sure.
Yeah. Forgot to return total. Dummy.
What?
This is hilarious, guys.
Jesus Christ. It's because you said blood. Oh.
Lots of debugging today, guys.
Try something.
Yeah.
Just wanna
See.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really the question, but I think it's because you're multiplying like the straight discount, which is like 10% times your price. If it's like a 10% off discount, you multiply by 9.
Oh yeah, you're right. 1 minus. Oh no. Oh.
Yeah.
No, I saw it.
Cool.
We were right the first time. Well,
Now you guys saw how to do it in a general format when you don't know what the items are. Yes. I'll try. The only thing is like the next problem, yeah, like this one gets cut off. If that's okay. Here?
no, just
Oh, this one. Okay. Yes.
Terminal.
So you run this line, Python 3 minus I, and then your file name. And you have to be in the folder where that file is located. And then you can call the function. So I call the function here. And since we initialize car items and everything here, I can just call them here. Yeah. Yeah. So a function, well, the parameters are just names for the parameters.
Oh.
So what we initialize in the beginning, even if we named the parameters the same thing, Python is like, oh, this is some arbitrary, like whatever the name we give it as. It's not actually like, it's not an input until we call the function and pass in those values. Any other questions before we move on to the next question? Yeah.
So like the answer was supposed to be 442, but we're not getting that, or?
No, I think Jonah may have made some errors.
Yeah, because I just clicked it into my calculator.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's like 5 point, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Exactly.
to make sure.
It really should be. I don't
You're
know
right.
what,
It's that 5435.
yeah, I don't know what you said.
Oh, if you guys want to make it more like nice, you do round.
That like the two's supposed to be like 2 spots after the decimal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's actually move on to a debugging question. Okay, let me see. Okay, maybe not this one. Oh, this is a great one. Okay, let's do this one, guys. Okay, so unfortunately, I can't show like the whole problem, so I'll kind of give you guys the gist. So some people have some problem with some code, and it's your job to help them figure out what's going on. So this is the code we have here. So they make a list of percentages, and there's a variable called max score. And then don't worry too much about like syntax here. So then they make a variable called scores. And what this does is it makes a list, and then it does this for every item in percentages. So it'll multiply one of the items in percentages by the max score, and then it'll output a list of all of those things. But that's not super important for this problem. And then after that, they print something out, and then they print out the scores. So the expected output is this. So basically what I said was supposed to happen. But instead you get this error. So think about this error for like a minute or two, and then discuss which error the line is on. So here's the code again. Ooh, this is tough. I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit. Okay. And just to clarify, the error says syntax error.
Also, feel free to like look up this error. That's always a good resource.
Oh.
Fucking Google.
Yeah, I got back in the hat, says it's bracket error.
In which line? What's the line? Which line's the error on? 4? Does anyone disagree with this answer? Anyone agree with the answer?
Can't agree.
Okay, so that is true. The error is on line 4. I'm just gonna put it as a string. Okay.
You want us to solve it when we're doing it, or just say it online?
Yeah, in part 2, we're asking for the actual or how to correct the error. So what should we do? Since it's on line 4, what should we do to fix this?
Delete one of the open brackets.
Yes. I'm just gonna copy this. And now Python is happy. Okay, can someone explain why the error is on line 4 and not line 6? Yeah.
Python is reading through it from top to bottom, and once it sees something that it can't read, it's going to give you an error, so it won't be able to do the print function. It will instead give you the error.
Yeah. So it'll go through the code, and then it'll be here, and it'll think like, oh, maybe you skipped a line to continue the list, because you can do that. Then it comes here and it's like, wait, this is not like allowed. Can't have this here. So then it's like, oh, on line 6, like there's a syntax error because of this print statement. So this is really like an important debugging skill to have, because just because Python tells you it's on a line does not necessarily mean it's in that line. It could be most likely like in a previous line as well. Yeah, so if you had a good eye, you could tell that there is an extra bracket right here, and that's why it threw out a syntax error, because there was like, now there's a print statement, like what is happening here? Python's not sure. So if we get rid of this bracket here, that'll help us a lot. Okay, any questions on this one? Yeah.
If it tells you that it's on a line, can you assume that it's nothing after that point?
Yes.
Partly because it hasn't been able to read past that line.
Yeah.
So as soon as it hits that line, it throws an error regardless of what's in the rest of your code. So
That's good. It just means because I don't want to have to read through my whole code. That's the main thing.
yeah.
Yeah. But if you did make an error in the few like later lines, it'll tell you that too. Like
Once you
after.
fix the
Yeah,
first
after you fix the
error.
first one. So it's like, oh, I finished this problem. And then it's like, oh, I did not finish this problem.
You know, I fixed this bug. A different error.
Yeah. Um, let me see. Okay, raise your hand if you want to do a list problem, or raise your hand, or okay, we're either gonna do a list problem or debugging problem. Raise your hand for list problem. And raise your hand for debugging. Okay. That's like about more people did lists, so we'll do the list one, and if we have time, we can do the debugging. We should probably have time. Okay, so this is our list problem. It's problem number 3. And we want to write a Python function that takes the list as an input and returns the most frequently occurring element along with its frequency. If there are multiple elements with the same highest frequency, return that one that appears first in the list. Okay, there are like a billion ways to do this one. Think about it for 2 minutes. And then, yes, problem 3.
Multiple problems.
There is? Did I? The first problem 3, guys. I thought I changed it.
Well, that one was the second problem too. So.
I think it was like problem 1, 2, 3, then what?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, then this should be 4, and then 2, 3. Because I changed the first one and then I forgot to change the last ones. But it's the first problem 3, most frequent element. So write some code, guys, or like at least think about the problem and like maybe like pseudocode what you want to do. Be like, okay, I want to like go through the list, or like loop through the list, or like I want to do this or that.
Also, feel free to discuss like people around you. Think bad about your idea. Help each other. Talk and look online.
I was gonna have them think about it first.
Oh,
Then
I'll put
oh, because we want to output the
number and how many times it comes up.
yeah, so in this line.
Oh.
It's okay.
Starting with later.
Okay, guys, talk to each other. What are you thinking?
I really know how you can do it. I don't know you can keep track of like every time he's one, add it by one. I don't know how to keep track of everything. I don't know if people search for that or talk about that. Yes. Yeah. You want to do this without having to for every single. Well, it's not yours. Maybe it could take a long time. I think we had to put like a little. I didn't want to make a list of everyone, but I was like, why not? And those computers. It's weird to make a list of every number. Make a list for every single. Then I have to make a different name, so that's the hard. Why is that? Each list has to have a different name when I'm going through the list.
What do you do if there's a?
Well, you have to have a name for them, and then it's gonna go and follow and make sure you have nothing else in the list that can follow that at any number into any event. Sorry. Like a list there. Well,
What about a structure we talked about in class too?
length.
Like a
For loop.
that's also in.
Or it's supposed to make a dictionary. I just didn't know, I didn't learn about dictionaries. Dictionary. So, you can add multiple items to the same name, but then you're still gonna need a dictionary for every item. Right? Outputs a list of people, strings, key, knowledge here. What's the top thing? I bet it, with the big items still using. But I put like big items and programs. You have to make an item, or you have to make a dictionary. To put all your items. What are the 4 things you can do with a dictionary?
Adding, removing, getting. Oh, I already said. Updating.
I don't understand how you can use dictionary on how it's different than other stuff.
So dictionary is like, it's useful when you want to map certain things. Other things, you just map the number to the amount of time.
How did the dictionary know that?
So for example, this is kind of silly, but like for the first item, you'll check if that number is on the list or in the dictionary. If not, you you add it to the dictionary for the value. Oh, okay. So if it's part of the board in the dictionary.
How many values?
That's the word. I should be clear.
But what is its name? Like, it's gonna have to pick its own name, right? Because every one is gonna have different. There's one dictionary. Then it's going to have items equal to the numbers. And each of those items have a value.
Oh my god, I hope he loves.
So how do you assign a value?
I'm sure he.
Items. Because like each different number would have a different item.
Yeah.
But then each value with each item would have its own value, and I don't, how do you assign a value that's?
Pretty good.
Every year, my freshman year. That's always, actually most of the time, yeah.
Pretty good.
So I'm putting it on my
And then, so this is like me creating like an empty dictionary, and then it mean like assigning a value to it.
Easy. So is the key the name of the dictionary, or is the item in the dictionary?
It's the item.
So how do you just know what to name? If then you have to name your dictionary, so then you call it. Find a thing from it.
Like how you make a letter. Same thing for a dictionary.
Oh, so you just make it equal to whatever, and then, okay.
I mean, it's your birthday. Yeah, you told me like, oh, it wasn't so yeah. I was yeah, I was there's a bunch of other stuff. That's fine. Yes, but I went up to say up here. And then back on the top. Oh dear. Oh. Okay, guys. We only have a couple minutes left, so let's try this.
Okay, so I heard a couple of good ideas. So the first one was to loop through the numbers. So for I'm just gonna do a different syntax. So for you guys have seen this before. So for num in numbers. Okay. And then with a couple of you guys, I talked about making a dictionary to map an item to the number of counts. Did anyone do this a different way or want to share a different idea? Yeah.
Make the list for every single reoccurring item in this list that has however many times that item appears.
Yeah, that's possible, except software engineers will hate you because of how unoptimal it is. Yeah. So very quickly, we'll do this. We'll just do the dictionary one. So we'll just say num times. This is how you make an empty dictionary. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to check if this number is in our dictionary first. So if num in num times, if this is a case, we want to add 1 to the value. So we'll get, we'll index into this. So num times at num. So this is our value. And you want to make it equal to the previous value plus 1. And if it's not in the dictionary, we want to make a new instance of it and set it equal to 1. So making a key value pair is by writing this line. So let me zoom in a little bit. So the dictionary and then brackets your key and setting it equal to something gives you the key and then the value, and it adds that to the dictionary. No, dictionary can be any data type. Okay. Okay, and then once that is done, you want to find the one that appeared the most times. So I'm actually going to scroll up here. So our values is the number of times the number appeared. So we want to get this list of values and find the max number. Where am I? Okay. Dot values. And then you want the max.
Ooh.
And then yes.
For the if statement, would you be able to use plus equals there? Or no?
I'm not sure, but you can try. I actually don't remember how to get the key from a value, so I'm gonna look it up and hopefully of course I'm on my Gmail, but it's okay. You guys can see how to get key from value in dictionary Python. So oh, okay. So we should get the index at that point, and then that should be not the list comprehension. I am. Okay, so if you guys want to go, you can go, but I'm gonna still figure this out here. I think. And then max val is num times dot keys. And this returns an index, a list. The index should be the same. Return. I'm not. Oopsie. Oh no. No, I think it should be the other way. Oh, not even max index. It should be max time. And then let me see if this even works. Oh, I didn't even. Max. Oh no. Oh, it's because I didn't do this.
Average.
What? Oh, I see. Unfortunately, we have to do this thing. Okay, so sorry, we're over time. So we make our dictionary and then we iterate through the numbers in our list. And I realized this should be list. And we check if it's in our dictionary, then we add 1 to the value. If it's not, then we add it to the dictionary and set the count equal to 1, because so far it's only appeared once. Then we check to get the max number of times, we get our values using the dict.values function. Then we take the max of that. So that's our max times. Then we find the index of those times. And basically I casted num times.values into a list and then found the index of max times. And when you do that, be careful. If there are multiple values with that same number, it'll give you the index the first time it occurs. So that's exactly what this question asks for though. So that's perfectly fine. And then to find the value, we get the list of keys and we cast it into a list and we pass in the max index. And that it has to correspond to the value or the key at that index. So we return both of these and we get the right answer. So 2 is our maximum occurring value and 4 was the number of times it outputted. Okay. Sorry, we went over quite a bit of time, but I hope this was insightful.
You still have office hours today?
Yes, right now, actually.
We're at.
355.
Yes, the only place actually. Oh no, where's the recording? Oh.